Well, hi guys, welcome back to another episode of Eek Acres. In this video, I wanted to tell you guys about something that happened over the weekend. And I'm going to get to my point, so bear with me in this video. But Bridget and I went camping over the weekend. We went down to Pennsylvania, and we were inside the Allegheny National Forest, which is over 500,000 acres of nothing but wilderness. We spent several hours just driving back roads, 2-lane roads that just go out into the wilderness with no camps, no homes, no nothing, for miles and miles and miles of just driving and just surrounded by God's creation, God's beautiful forests. And we had a really good time. And then we found a place to camp, and we spent the night and got a nice fire going. We had a nice quiet time, really enjoyed ourselves, cooked supper over the open fire, and had a good night's sleep. And then we left in the morning and headed back home, and it was a long drive coming back home. We decided coming home that after we jumped on Interstate 86 that we were not going to cross this bridge that crosses our lake, Chautauqua Lake, because the deteriorated bridge is just not safe to drive across. So we had to cut through the city to come around and come back up into where we live. Well, as soon as we got into the city limits, right at the city line, there is a Tim Hortons. And I asked Bridget, I says, do you want to stop and get a breakfast sandwich? Because I was kind of hungry. And she says, sure. So we stopped at Tim Hortons and we got each a sandwich. We actually got a meal, and they got it screwed up. So we just got the sandwich and just said, never mind, and left it at that. And we went out to the van, which was parked facing the building. And then I saw 3 elderly people come walking up the side of the building on the sidewalk. And I thought it was 3 little old ladies. Well, it was 1 elderly woman and 2 elderly men dressed like women. And I have to be very careful as a YouTube creator, you guys, because YouTube does not let you say certain things, and the things that I'd like to say, I cannot say on here because there's no longer any freedom of speech. I'll just describe to you how the first gentleman was dressed. He had on long dangling earrings. He had very short gray hair, and he appeared to be into his mid to late 70s, wearing a very bright fluorescent pink jacket with long fingernails like a werewolf, very long press-on fingernails that were also painted hot pink. And he had a child's Barbie purse with sequins on it over his shoulder, and they walked into Tim Hortons. And I told Bridget, I says, isn't it funny that when we were out in the Allegheny National Forest, just wilderness as far as the eye can see, you guys, unspoiled, undeveloped, nobody around, very quiet, very beautiful, surrounded by everything created by God. And we had one hell of a good time. And I told Bridget, I says, isn't it strange how we can come out of that environment, and immediately as soon as we enter into the city, it's the exact opposite. You see what is so wrong with this world. You went from what is so right to what is so wrong. Such a contrast. And it really made me want to just turn around and go right back out to the woods. I don't have anything against people that have an alternative lifestyle. I just don't want to see it. I just don't want to see it. Any more than I would want to see somebody that has no clothes on the corner of 3rd and Main Street. I just don't want to see what I don't want to see. But anymore, the more you go out into public, the more establishments that you frequent, the more you're apt to see that very thing. And a buddy of mine called today, George, one I used to landscape with, and he told me he was on a job today, currently landscaping for the same type of people. And he told me when he went to Olive Garden with his wife the other day, their waiter was the same way. And I told him that I don't give that place any business. I don't like their food. And if you see something like that in an establishment, it would make me not go back for sure. I will not give them any business because I don't condone putting that out there. Like I said, I can't say what I'd like to say, you guys. I just can't. But I don't like to see it. Because I don't like being reminded of where this world is going and just how mixed up it is and insane and crazy that it is. And I just don't care for it. I don't care for it at all. I don't care what they do. I just don't want it around me. If I see any employer that has people like that working for them, I'm not going back. They lose my business permanently. Period. That's just how I feel about it. I don't want anything to do with it. And I will never understand it. I'm not going to try to understand it because I don't need to understand it. Because I've made up my mind already what it is. And the initials for it are MI. So anymore in this day and age, if I'm not going out camping, fishing, or hiking, or anything like that, I would just rather stay home, because when you go out in public anymore today, you see more things that you would rather not see than ever before. And 30, 40 years ago, it was never like that. At least where I grew up, it wasn't. So I just wanted to do a video about this and just say how different things are when you go from rural America, rural country, from the woods, and go to the city, and just how different it is. It's a slim chance that you would ever see that in the woods. And that's why I love nature so much, because it's all natural, all made by God, and it's unspoiled, and it's not trying to be something it's not. I will never understand this world today, and I know it's only going to get worse. And I just can't imagine how much worse. Thanks for watching, you guys, and we'll see you again in the next one. Bye-bye.